can join the class online, but she has to enroll first in the occupational center.
Um, she can join the class, but she does have to enroll, but she can do that by telephone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So is she level 4 or 5
She
or
was level 3.
level 3? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is she interested in taking classes in the night or in the morning?
She's not taking it yet because of her kids or something. But I tell them that we are getting online, and they say, "Oh, that was perfect for me." But at that time, I'm already free to I can join
Uh,
the class.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Different
I'm sorry
teachers.
for the interruption.
Yeah, that's okay.
Is that Patty? Patty? Is that Patty or Mira? What was the name of it?
No, it was
The girl?
Belen. Belen.
Oh, it's another one.
So yeah, different teachers are having their Zoom classes at different times. I'm not sure about level 3, what's happening with level 3, but I can investigate, and
Oh,
I will ask the level 3 teachers. I'm
all right.
teaching level 3 in the morning if she wants to take the class in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm teaching level 3 on Monday and Wednesday morning.
Okay. I'll let her know.
Yeah, and then another teacher, Miss Aguirre, is teaching it on Tuesday and Thursday morning. So it's four mornings every week from 10:30 to 12. That's my level 3 class.
All
But
right.
there will be there's a level 3 class at night, but that's Miss um, her name is
Miss Aguirre.
not Miss Graham, Miss
Miss
Ortiz.
Virginia.
Virginia, whatever Virginia's last name is, I don't remember now.
Yeah,
But
I don't remember her last name
yeah,
either.
yeah,
Gregory.
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 Yeah,
That's it,
Gregory.
Virginia
Yeah.
Gregory. Virginia
The
Gregory.
one from England.
The one from England. That's
Yes.
right. So I know she's teaching level 3. I'm not sure how much she's doing on Zoom because she's not so good with computers. I was helping her with Zoom, so I don't know how her Zoom lessons are going. But she's the level 3 teacher for the evening for us, and I can investigate. Okay, I'll do some
All right.
investigation and let you know tomorrow.
Okay.
All,
Thank you.
all right. So students, are we ready to jump into our warm-up? We're going to do our warm-up, then we're going to check our homework, and then we're going to go on to the new idea using that word if and whether. Okay? Sounds good?
That's good.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. And Claudia sent me her little paragraph. I appreciate that. Thank you, Claudia. So if any of you else have a paragraph to send me, send it either by
I will do it tomorrow.
that's okay. Either send it by email or take a photo and then send it by a text in the app. You can send it by WhatsApp or and then I can just print it out from my computer. So either way, you can. Claudia sent me a email, but you can send me an email or through the app. No problem.
Teacher, do I have your phone number? I don't think I have your phone number.
But you do you have the WhatsApp or the Remind?
I have the remind.
Yeah, you can just send a document through the Remind app.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I did my phone number is on the syllabus. I gave everybody a syllabus, right? At the first day of class. Maybe you didn't get one. Yeah, we only had 4 days of class before they canceled us. so maybe you didn't get one. But you know what I'll do? I'll make a copy of this and I'll put it in the app. Okay. So
Teacher,
yes.
teacher, I missed the class last Thursday. So what are you talking about the paragraph? I don't know. I don't get it.
Do you have a book?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. You know what? I made a copy, I think, of the instructions, but I'll make a copy and I'll put it in that. Do you use the Remind app or the WhatsApp?
I use the Remind.
Okay,
the
I'll put a copy of the assignment in there. It's the writing assignment from chapter 3. or chapter 2, where you write about somebody who is successful.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, you think of somebody who's successful and you write about how they became successful, what they did to achieve success. Like a friend, a neighbor, whoever.
oh, okay,
Okay.
okay.
All right. So anyway, I'll put the instructions in the app again. I think I did it on Thursday, but I'll put it in again. Okay. You were having computer problems on Thursday, right?
Yeah, no,
Or
no,
last
teacher.
night was the computer.
Yes, yesterday, yes.
Oh, your
My-
battery
yeah.
went out, huh?
Yes,
All
my
right.
battery died.
Oh boy. Problems, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm so
well,
terrible teacher.
it's supposed to be easier to teach online, but it's not easier, I'll tell you.
Mm,
It's everything's more complicated, right? You cannot
sometimes, teacher.
just give something to the teacher. You have to put it through the app and then
Yes,
upload it.
yes.
Oh my goodness. All right. Anyway, let's jump in. Let's jump into our verb practice, and we'll do this, and then we'll check the homework from yesterday.
Mm.
Sounds good?
Yes.
All right. Let's dive in here. Here's the practice for today.
Mhm.
All right. Now the first one is just our classic from level 3, right?
Mm.
Not yet. So what can we
So,
say?
I haven't
I haven't sold,
sold.
right?
I haven't sold.
I haven't sold my car yet, right? Present
Haven't
perfect for not yet. Now the next one says yesterday. What could we say for that?
I didn't.
Sure.
I didn't
sweat.
I didn't sweat.
I didn't sweep the floor yesterday. Simple past negative. Now, number 3, we have to be careful. Remember our study about conditionals, right? We studied conditionals in April, right? Or was it in March? I don't know. April. I think it was in April, right? What do we have over here? I would start. Exactly. If I were you.
I were you.
If I were you, I would start looking for another job. Exactly. That's the second conditional, what we call the imaginary
Barbara
conditional.
is given.
Pardon?
No, never mind.
If I were you. Okay, now we're up to number 4. The barber. What can we say about the barber?
Is given?
Was giving, right?
Oh,
Was
what?
given.
At that time, right? Because we have simple past over here.
The chef.
Okay.
We have an action in progress in the past. So was given.
Was given.
All right. All right.
What will you do?
The next one.
Action.
What will you do?
What will you
Or
do?
what are you going to do, right?
What are you
What
going
are
to do?
you going to
What
do?
are you going to?
All right. The next one is very similar to the one about the barber shop, right? Because it says, when I visited them last Saturday.
My parents were working.
We're working
We're
in
working.
the yard.
We're working.
Excellent. My parents were working in the yard when I visited them last Saturday. We're working. Now, the next one has that keyword since.
Hasn't exercised.
Very good.
Already?
Hasn't exercised very much.
Hasn't exercised. Or we could say hasn't
Been.
been exercising.
Exercise.
Hasn't exercised or hasn't been exercising very well. The next one is number 8. It's about already.
Had.
I have
I have
Already
already
had.
You got it.
found my doctor's.
I have already seen my doctor, right?
Seen
Present,
my doctor.
present
Seen my
perfect for an action at an indefinite time in the past. An indefinite time in the past. I have already seen.
seen.
Okay. Now the next one is that's
Is.
back to
Is.
level 1 there, right?
Is-
Is preparing.
Is your mother
Is your
preparing?
mother
Preparing dinner.
Now the next one is last week. So it's simple past but irregular.
Won.
So what's the past tense for win?
Won.
Won.
That's right.
One.
All right. Now the next one, number 11. Number 11 says next year, future, but look at the subject.
Won.
The
Will
subject,
make.
The
Is
car.
that going to be made?
Isn't going. Isn't.
Will be made.
No, won't.
won't be made. Exactly. Or isn't going to be made.
Won't be.
Be made.
Right? We have a future passive there, don't we?
Mm.
Because the subject is the car.
The car. Yes.
Right? The car company will make the car, or in this case, won't make the car. All right. Number 12 is another conditional. Right? We have that word if.
Has.
Exactly. Because we have will over here, right?
Yes.
Remember the partner of will is simple present. All right. Now the next one is a question about last year.
Did you find?
Did you
Did you
paint?
paint? All right. Did you paint?
Did you paint
Did you paint your house last year or the year before? Now number 14 is one of our classics. While.
was
Exactly.
Was
Was
cleaning.
cleaning. Was cleaning. Exactly.
While
While Mr. Scott was cleaning the living room rug, his wife dusted the furniture. While he was cleaning. Mhm. Number 15, not yet. That's our classic present perfect, isn't it?
haven't
Mhm.
studied.
I embody.
Now the next one,
Was written.
exactly, because we have that word by, right?
Was written.
Notice
Like
the
Thomas.
the thing is in the subject position and the person is
Declaration
over
of
here,
independence.
right?
Was written.
Exactly. Declaration of Independence was written by Thomas Jefferson. Was written. The next one says tomorrow. Tomorrow
Is it going to speak?
is going to speak. Is going to speak
To speak.
or will speak, right? Is going to speak or will speak. Both are okay. Okay. The next one is a question about every morning.
Does your daughter
Does your daughter
drink
drink?
milk?
Exactly. Exactly. Does your daughter drink milk? The next one says for the last few weeks.
The assignment was very difficult.
Was very difficult.
Was or have been?
Have been.
very difficult.
I prefer have been.
Very difficult.
Because it's not last week, it's for the last few weeks.
For the last week.
Has been.
Means they are still difficult now.
Have been.
All right. The next one is the negative about tomorrow night.
Won't come.
Sure.
Won't come.
Or
Won't come.
Are going to come.
Are not going to come.
or you could even say aren't coming, right?
It's going to bake cookies this afternoon.
All right, the next one is a if, and it has over
Bakes.
here would.
Bake.
Bakes. Bakes.
With S or ED?
ED.
Yes.
ED.
Bake.
Because we have good.
Yeah, exactly.
Bake
Would,
cookies.
simple past, and would, right? Those are the partners.
Okay.
Simple past.
All right, now number 22 is really for the level 6s here. All right, level sixes, are you ready?
The case.
Yes.
What do we
Okay.
have here?
Theory.
We have
Is
right
discussed?
now.
It's being discussed right
There
now.
we go. I heard it.
Discuss.
Is being discussed, right?
It's being discussed. This is being discussed.
Discussing.
That's a passive. Remember present
Yes.
continuous
Yes.
passive? That was
being
the one
discussed.
lesson I did that was on
The case
was
is
without
being
students.
discussed. Educate. Learning.
Continuous and perfect passive.
This has been discussed.
All right. The next one, yet.
Have the police.
That's
Call.
right.
Have the police.
The police.
Has the police.
Have.
Oops. Have the police
Have the police.
caught?
Call.
Caught.
Yeah.
Caught.
Have the police caught the robber yet?
The Robert Jet.
Present perfect.
Still, Sally always.
All right.
Obeys.
Mother.
Always, we're going to use simple present,
Simple
right?
present.
Obeys.
Obeys.
There we
The
go.
mother.
Jim
And
is
number
going to
25,
stay
Jim is going to
until
stay here
his
until
brother calls.
Brother call.
Brother was
Calls.
called. Is called.
Until his brother calls.
until he calls. Okay, preguntas, problemas?
No.
All right, welcome back. A nice turnout tonight. How many students do we have? We have 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 students. Excellent. Excellent. Hello, 14 students.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, teacher.
Now tonight, we're going to shift from looking at the indirect question with the question words to the question with if. But we had some homework using the indirect question with the question words, right? I sent you that homework last night. If you had a chance to print it out and do it, fantastic. If you didn't have a chance, we'll do it right now. But let's remember what our idea is. Let's see here. Let me show you the example again. Oops. Got too many buttons going on here, as usual. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, can everybody see the homework?
Yes.
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 The example is the same example we had last night, right? Kevin went somewhere. Now the question form, remember the question form is what we learned in level 1 and level 2 and level 3.
Mm-hmm.
We always put that auxiliary verb before the subject, right?
Yes.
With only a few exceptions. And now here's our new idea that we're learning in this class, right? We're using a question word, a subject, and a verb. Okay, so let's jump right into this homework. Some of you have it if you printed it out from yesterday. If you don't have it, just follow along on the screen. All right, the teacher found something in the classroom. Okay, is this past, present, or future?
Pass.
Past. Okay, so what's the question?
Pass.
What did the teacher find in the
What
classroom?
did the teacher find?
Right.
What did he find?
What did he find, right? Or what did the teacher find, if we prefer. All right, I'll put that.
I'm not sure what he found.
What he found.
What he found.
Right? Everybody agree?
Yes.
This is the way we learned in level 2, right? In level 2, did and base verb, right? But here's the indirect question. I'm not sure what he found. Okay. All right. Luis is working in some store at the mall. Okay, this is present continuous, right?
Yes.
So what can we say? In which store?
Which store
Is he working?
Is he working?
Luis
is he working?
I agree.
He's working.
In which store is Luis working? Right?
Oh, which store is Luis working?
Okay.
And in which store?
That is easy.
I am not positive which store is he working.
He's working.
I'm not positive which store Luis
He
is
is
working.
working. He is working.
I'm not.
And now we have to be a little bit careful. Don't forget our preposition.
Luis is working.
I am not positive. Which
He's
store
I'm
working.
not
he is
positive
working.
which store he is working in.
Which store he is working.
He
Don't,
is working.
you
She
cannot,
is working.
you cannot throw away the preposition, right?
Is working.
You got to keep them. If you have in or at or to or from or with, you cannot just throw it away. You got to keep it. It looks funny at the end, but it's correct. So I'm not positive which store he's working in.
Is working.
All right. Now the next one is present perfect, right? My
Many
kids
times.
have been to Disneyland many times. So what are we going to say? How many times
Have
Have the kids.
have
the kids
your kids
Have your kids.
been
Being in this
been
Disneyland. Been to Disneyland.
to Disneyland.
How many times have the kids been
right? Oops.
to
I
Disneyland?
don't even know.
All right. How many times have your kids been to Disneyland? And the answer is, I don't know.
I don't even.
I
I
don't
don't know
I don't
I
even
don't
know
even
how many
even
times
How
time.
many,
how many times
they were in Disneyland.
They have been
they have been in
They
Disneyland.
to Disneyland,
they
right?
have
To
been.
Disneyland.
Right. So with present perfect, remember, it's just a matter of changing the position of the auxiliary verb. Here I have in front of the subject, and here I have after the subject.
No.
In front of the subject, after the subject. All right. All right. The next one, we have the word should. Okay. So we're going to ask
Many
a question with
stamps
should.
should you buy?
Right. How many stamps should you buy?
Should you buy?
How many stamps should you buy? And what about the
I wonder.
I wonder?
I wonder.
How many stamps did
How
you?
many stamps?
Should I buy?
Should have bought.
Should I or I should?
Should
I should.
I should.
I should.
I
I
should.
should. I should. How many
I
stamps?
should.
I wonder how many stamps I should buy.
I should buy.
I should
I wonder how many stamps I should buy.
buy.
I should.
All right. Now the next
Not
one.
both?
No. Because we have should.
Yes. Okay.
Remember, we don't use past tense with should.
Mhm.
All right. Now the next one is another past tense question this time. My cousin took his kids somewhere yesterday.
Did my cousin?
Where
did
did your cousin
Did you?
take his kids?
Where did your cousin take his kids?
Right? Where did your cousin take his kids yesterday? Simple past question. Did in front of the subject and verb base form, right? Okay, so what am I going to say for the second part? I need to find out
I need to find
where
out
Where
did
Cousin take his
Where my cousin
my cousin
took
where my
took
cousin
his kids
his
the
kids?
kids.
yesterday,
take his
right?
kids
I need to find out where my cousin took his kids yesterday,
to his
right? Question, did in front of the subject. Indirect question, no did, past tense verb. Number 6. Aha. Number 6, look at the position of this word. The word somebody used my laptop it's in the subject position already, right? So, pregunta, what's the pregunta? Hey,
Who used my laptop?
Who used my laptop?
Right. No change, no did, right?
no
Easy.
Remember, who questions don't use did, right? I just used the verb. Hey, who used my laptop? And then I don't know.
Who used your laptop?
No change.
Who use?
Use
Who use it?
your.
Use my laptop.
Your.
Oh,
Who use my laptop?
I don't know
Okay.
who used my laptop.
My
I don't know who used my laptop. Mhm. All right, number 7. Miguel is looking, again, we got present continuous again. Miguel is looking for a certain job. So
What kind of job Miguel is looking for?
what kind of job is he looking?
is Miguel
Is
looking
Miguel
for?
looking
Looking
for.
for.
Looking
in
for.
All right,
No.
okay.
Ask him
For.
what kind of
Ask
I will
him.
ask him
he is looking for.
What kind of
what kind
job
of job is he looking for?
Is
is
Miguel.
he or he is?
Is he looking for?
Is.
Is he looking?
He is looking
So
for.
direct question is in front of the subject. Indirect question is after the subject. Right? You see, we're just moving one word. We move is from here to here. From here to here, right? Let me put a highlight on that word is. Oops. Right? You see what happened? We just moved the word from here to here. All right. Let's see. Okay. Next one. My mother has several pets. Simple present. Simple present. So what are we going to say?
Simple present.
How many
How many
pets does your mother have?
Does your mom
Does your
has
mother?
your mother?
Does your mother?
Of those your mother.
Simple present, so we use does, right? How many pets does your mom have?
I'm
And
not
what do-
sure.
I'm not sure how many
How many
I'm not sure
pets
how many
pets.
pets.
does my mother?
We want does or no?
No.
No.
I'm not sure how many
It's
pets
my mom
She
has
has.
your
Yes.
she has
I'm not sure how
I'm not
many
sure how
pets
many
she has.
pets she has.
Right.
How
Now,
many
how many pets does your mom have?
does your
I'm
mom
not sure how many
sure
pets
how
she
many
has.
pets she has.
Again, we have our connector, our subject, and our verb. And notice what happened. The word does disappear, right? The word does disappear.
I'm not sure how many pets she has.
All right, good. All right. Second page. Present continuous again. My friends are playing some game. All right. So what would we have for our question?
Which game
Which game are they
are
playing?
you
Are your
Are my
friends playing?
friends playing,
Your
right?
friends
Are your friends playing?
playing.
Right?
Your
What are we doing?
friends
Are in front of the subject. Mhm. And the answer, I don't know.
I don't know which game
Which
Which
game
game they
your
They
they
are
They are
they
right?
are playing.
Again, what happened? We moved the word are, right?
Mhm.
Which game are your friends playing? I don't know which games they are playing. Are your friends? They are, right? In front of the subject, after the subject. In front of the subject, after the subject. That's the big difference between the direct and the indirect. All right. That man's name is unusual. So what are we going to say here?
What
or unusual name?
Was
what
is
What is?
what is
What
the
is
that name in English?
Well, we don't worry about the unusual.
what is
Just
What
as
is
don't
what is the name of the
what is the name?
of the man?
you're thinking
What
you're
is
thinking too much. What is that
What is the name?
man's
What is that
name?
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 Is
right?
His name.
what is
Man.
the name?
Right? That man's name is unusual. Oh, really? What is his name? Right? What is that man's name? Okay.
I don't remember.
I don't remember
exactly.
exactly
Remember exactly.
what
What his name is?
What
his
No.
name.
What
is
His
What
name
his name
is.
is?
name
Remember what his name
is?
is.
I don't remember exactly what his name is. Right? So again, what do we have? We have
David needs some money. How much?
Is,
How
We have
much does he need?
is in two different positions. All right.
what
David
is,
needs money. Okay. Question form, simple present. What do we
How
say?
much? How much
How
does
much
he need?
does he need?
How much
Does
does
David
David
How much does he need? How much does
David.
David need?
David
need?
needs some money.
right?
How much money, no?
Yeah, you can say how much money. It's, yeah, if you like, no problem.
me? How much?
Yeah.
How much money that David needs?
Right. How much money does David need? Okay. And he hasn't told me.
How
How
much
much
he
money?
needs?
How much money he needs?
money?
How much money he needs?
He needs.
How much money? That how much money he
He
needs?
needs.
He
S and the
Needs.
S.
That's right.
Needs. How
Right.
much money he needs?
He hasn't told me how much money he needs.
He needs.
Again, I have does in the question, but not in the indirect question. Remember, no do, no does, no did. Do, does, did, out. All right. Alex did something unusual yesterday. Now this one's going to be a little bit different because our verb is already did. Okay, so what would the question be here? He did
What
something
did
unusual.
Alex do?
What was?
What did
What did?
What did
What
English
did
question
Alex
yesterday?
What did
What
Alice
did
do
Alex
yesterday?
do on
Alex do
Yesterday.
yesterday? What did
right?
Alex do?
Alex did something unusual. Oh, really?
What did
What
Alex
did he
do?
do? And he
What
said,
did
I don't know.
I don't know what he did.
Alex do
What
Did
yesterday?
Alex
he
did?
did?
I don't
I
know
don't know
what
what he did.
he did.
He
In
did.
this question, yes, use the did.
Yeah,
Using that
because
simple.
only in this example, because did is the main verb. Right. Remember, sometimes do and does and did are the verb. For example, if I say I do aerobics, right? Do is the verb. So if I'm going to use an indirect question, I still need do. All right. Somebody broke the window. Oh, again, somebody's in the subject position. So
Who
what can we
broke
say?
the window?
Who broke
Broke
it
the
in the
window.
window?
Who
Who
broke the window? Exactly.
Who broke the window?
Who broke the window? And then answer, I have no idea.
No idea who broke the
who broke
Break
the
the
Who
window? I have
broke
no idea.
the window?
window?
I have no idea who broke the
Who
window.
broke the window?
It's same.
Same. Exactly. ¿Por qué? Because the subject is the
Who?
who is the subject. All right.
I need too many
14.
those similars.
Yeah.
And the test.
You like those, huh? Those you don't have to change. All right. All right. How about this one? It says Romeo and Juliet killed themselves in some way. And we're going to use how. So what can we say?
How they
did
the
Romeo
kill
and Juliet
Juliet killed
kill themselves?
Did Romeo and Juliet
Right? Simple past, right? Simple past. Because that story is like 500 years
Romeo and
old.
Juliet
So how did Romeo and Juliet kill themselves?
kill themselves.
Okay. Now we have did.
Really
What's gonna happen to did? Out, right? We don't want did no more.
Oh no.
So
I don't really remember how
they
Romeo and Juliet.
they kill
Themselves.
right?
themselves.
I don't really remember how they killed themselves. Oh, who is this person again?
It's me.
All right. All right. So somebody came in, but the last time they came in, they didn't say anything, and they wouldn't identify.
It's me, Lupe.
No, and I know.
No, but last time.
Teacher, I have it's me. It's on the computer.
Okay. What?
It's Guadalupe.
Are you R.R. Soul?
Yes.
Well, that's you.
Yes, it's me.
R.R.S.O.L.
Yes.
But
It
what
says
about
my computer?
What about you as Lupe? You're here. You're in the room twice.
Yes.
She really loves the class.
She wants to learn
She
double.
loves the class so much she's on her phone and on her computer. How much does she love this class?
She wants to learn twice.
She wants to learn twice. I should charge extra.
Teacher, you need to give it two tests too.
Yeah, that's right. 2 tests.
No, it's in the computer. I can see the letters more bigger, and my phone it's more smaller. But I can hear you on my phone.
No problem.
Sorry.
No problem. All right. All right. The train will come soon. The train will come soon.
When
will
the
the
train
The
come?
train will came.
When will the train come, right?
when will the train come?
The train can.
That's a simple future question, right?
When will the train come?
And again, what did we do? We put the auxiliary verb in front of the subject. All right.
And this question is simple
future.
Simple future. Okay.
Simple future. Will.
Let's ask that this man when
The train will come.
Mm.
When the train will come.
Let's ask this man when the train will come. Again, what did I do? I moved the word will to a different position, right? In the direct question, in front of the subject. In the indirect question, after the subject. All right. Hector found something in the yard. All right.
What did he found?
What did
he found?
Hector
What did he
What
find?
did he find
Find
in
in
the jar?
What did Hector find in the jar?
I don't know what he found.
I don't know what he found exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. What?
Yeah, Maria, you're learning twice.
All right. Those mas, and then we're done. All right. The first one says, 17 says, Graciela and Beatriz are going to bring something to the party. This is going to, right? This is a going to question.
What
What they going to
are
they going to bring?
Going to bring.
they going to bring to the party?
Bring to the party.
Going
What are the
I don't know
So,
what
direct question.
they are going.
What do? We put it in front of the subject. Okay.
What
All
they
right. I don't know what they
are going to bring to the party.
bring. What the?
what they are going to bring.
All right. And again, look what happened. We moved the word are to a different position. All right.
Who told my secrets?
Okay. Somebody told Vicente told somebody.
Who did he tell to?
Who did he tell? Right. Who did he
This is
tell?
simple past. This is simple past.
Yep, simple past. Who did he tell my secret?
Who
Did he tell my secret?
Who did he tell my secret? I have to find out
who
he told. Right?
who
Again.
Excuse me, teacher. On the second one right there on letter B, we can say, who did he tell to?
Who did he tell my secret to?
Yes.
You could say that. Yeah.
Wait, I'll be back like in 10 minutes, Mr. Red.
What's that?
I'll be back like in 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. No problem. All right. Preguntas, problemas?
What this change is who?
Any questions?
Oh,
Because this one is a quien, right? A quien.
only in the time and the time and past tense change with who?
No, it has nothing to do with past tense. It could be present, could be future. The difference is that here, look where the word somebody is. After the verb, right?
Yes.
But look at this one, number 13. Where's the word somebody?
Somebody.
Aha.
Somebody.
The subject, right?
The subject. Depend the subject.
Here, somebody is the object. That's the difference.
Okay.
Right? Because in this one, somebody broke the window, right? The missing information is the person who did the action, right?
Oh, okay.
Right? But here, I know Vicente told somebody. Who? I have to find out. ¿A quién?
Who did he tell my secret to?
Who did he tell my secret to?
We have to know who we have to find out who received the information.
Yeah, that's right. Who received the information, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's about doing the action or receiving the action.
I have to find out.
Right? In number 18, the missing information is the object. Okay.
Can you show number 1 and the number A, please?
Number 1?
To number A. I take a picture.
Oh, you mean the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
One to
Oh,
A.
okay, hold on. Let me. All right, let's see. Okay. All right. Can you take a photo of that?
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Give us a second, please.
The second two.
Wait. Not yet.
You want me to do the second page too?
Yes.
Just give me a second, teacher, please.
Okay, all right, no problem. No problem. A little tricky, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes,
What's the key point? The auxiliary verb, right?
The
The auxiliary verb is in front of the subject in the standard question. The auxiliary verb is after the subject in the indirect question.
The next page.
Next page. Okay. Okay. Aquí está.
Thank you.
All right. No problema.
The last one.
Oh my goodness.
No, I didn't copy it from 9 to. What is the 9? Is the last one?
What's that?
No, that one.
Okay, got it.
No.
I'll make a PDF of this and I'll send it out.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be a little bit easier to read.
Oh, thank you, teacher.
Than your photo. All right. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'll send that out right after class. Okay. Oops. Okay. All right. No problems?
No.
No problems. Okay. Save. Okay. All right. So, all of those questions. Hello, Ching.
Teacher.
Nice to see you.
Teacher.
Yes.
Sorry. You said a PDF. What does mean? Like it's a abbreviation of which word?
PDF.
Yes.
I think a PDF means portable document file.
Oh,
that's a file you can read on any computer.
Because
right?
I heard what you said. I make a PDF.
Yeah, PDF is a kind of file that can be read on any computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't change it, really. Well, it's possible now to change it if you want, but a PDF is something that can be read on any computer.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, when you see the little Adobe symbol, do you know the Adobe symbol?
No. Which one is it?
Let me see if I can find one for you. Okay. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. Close that. All right. Open this. Let's see. Let me see here. There it is. Okay. All right. Let me share this with you. Show you what I'm talking about. Oh, it's blank. Hold on. All right. Do you see this?
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Whenever you see these letters PDF, that means portable document file, which means
Okay.
you can read it on any computer.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Some computers you need the program to read it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Although it's better these days. Most computers can read most files, but PDF is a file that can be read on any computer, any phone, and anything, right? So
Those ones are the sheets that you shared to us, right?
yeah, that's right. That's right. That's why I share a PDF, because any phone or any computer can read it, right?
All right.
If I send you Microsoft Word, you can only read it if you have Microsoft Word. But the PDF, anybody can read anywhere.
All right.
All right. Anyway, that's
Thank you.
what those are. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna do one more thing here, and let's see. I'm gonna have to go to my folder here and open this up. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. All right. So, like I said, today I want to talk about questions that don't have if or whether or excuse me, that don't have what and when and where and how and who. The questions that have if and whether. And when do we use these? When we don't have a question mark. So let's talk about this a little bit. I'm going to turn off the mics for just a second and go through this little explanation real fast, and then we're going to do some practice, okay? All right, so let me turn off the microphones for a second. All right, and let me share my presentation. Okay. All right, can everybody see the presentation? Noun clauses using if and whether and that. Everybody can see it?
Yes.
Excellent. Now we're going to talk mostly about if and whether tonight. We're going to talk about that clauses a little later this week. But tonight we're going to focus on if and whether. Okay. Indirect questions. Right? Whenever a yes/no question is part of a bigger sentence, either as an object or a subject, we use a noun clause with if or whether. Those are the two key words when we have a yes/no situation. So again, we have to be careful. So if I say, do you know, or can you tell me, or please tell me, or please let me know, we need that little connector, right? I cannot say, do you know, is he coming tonight? Do you know if he is coming tonight? Do you know whether he is coming tonight? Right? These questions are sometimes called embedded questions. Right? Can we park here? That's our basic yes/no question, right? What do we have here? We have the auxiliary verb in front of the subject. The auxiliary verb is in front of the subject. But here's the indirect question. I'm not sure if we can park here. We better ask somebody. I'm not sure if we can park here. If and subject and verb. All right, so let's talk about this a little more closely. Be careful. Remember, it is the normal affirmative sentence pattern here, not the question form. This is especially important with do, does, and did. Right? Do your parents know how to use Skype? That's a direct question with do. Right? Do your parents know how to use Skype? All right. Indirect question. Do you know if your parents know how to use Skype? Right? I put that word if in there. All right. The next one. Does Angel have access to the internet? Do you know if Angel has access? Again, notice what I did. I have does and I threw it away and I changed my verb. All right. The next one. Did Sandra make spaghetti last night? Again, I have the word did. Do you know if Sandra made spaghetti? Do you know if Sandra made spaghetti? If plus subject plus verb. If subject verb. If subject verb. If subject verb. No do, no does, no did. Now, of course, I still have do for do you know, but that's separate, right? That's a different question. Okay. Using whether. When do we use it? We can use the word whether. All right, students, I'm going to have to take a little break because my cat is bothering me and he wants to go outside. So give me 1 second. All right, the cat is outside. Drives me crazy, that cat. All right, so what does it say here? We use the word whether in indirect questions. It usually sounds more formal than the word if. So again, if I'm trying to be extra polite, I will use the word whether. I'd like to ask whether it's possible to exchange this ticket. In this case, I'm talking to like a customer service person. I want to be polite. I want them to do me a favor. So I make it a little more polite than usual. I'd like to ask whether it's possible. Is it okay to say if? Sure. But whether is just a little bit more formal. It's not clear whether Congress is going to lower the taxes. It's not clear whether Congress is going to lower taxes. Do you know whether this class is offered in the fall? Whether. I wonder whether Melissa and Dan are coming to the wedding. So, if or whether. If or whether. Both are good for yes, no questions. But I have to have something. I cannot say I'd like to ask, it's possible, or it's not clear, Congress, right? We want to use the word whether. Be careful. Remember, there are two different words in English that sound very similar. Whether and weather. The pronunciation is almost the same, and many people pronounce them exactly the same. Usually, this one with WH has a little more air, weather. And this one, weather, weather, weather. But very close, right? This weather, I'm asking a question, right? I wonder whether I can go. This weather, it's a rainy day, and the weather is very bad today, right? So be careful. WHETHER, WEATHER. Two different words, two different words. Okay. Using or not. We often use this word in a question. Sometimes we include these words with indirect questions. Or is always after the question, but or not can sometimes come after whether. So let me show you some examples. I'm not sure if Jason is coming on Tuesday or on Wednesday, right? No problem. I'm not sure if Salvador is bringing his laptop or not. Right? I can put that little or not at the end. I'm not sure whether or not the boss has seen our report. I'm not sure whether or not the boss has seen the report. Whether or not. Very, very common to use whether or not. We say it all the time. I don't know whether or not I can do it. Reasons for indirect questions. The same reasons as we talked about on Thursday, right? We use them in the same way we use nouns and gerunds. Subjects. Whether or not the program is too expensive is not clear, right? That whole thing in red is the subject. Not common at all. After verbs and some adjectives. Do you know if Victor is here yet? I'm not sure if we can finish on time. No is a verb, sure is an adjective, but they're both good. After prepositions. Prepositions like what? Like about, maybe. I'm worried about whether we can afford to retire. I'm worried about whether we can afford to retire. And as predicate nouns after the be verb. The question is whether or not we should hire Mr. Garcia. The question is whether or not we should do this. Now, one important note. We only use if in number 2, right? In number 1 and number 3 and number 4, we tend to be more formal in those situations. So we're going to use whether. So I'm not going to say I'm worried about if I can afford my rent. I'm worried about whether is better. Is better. Some people say if still, but better grammar is to say whether in those situations. Okay. Now, what about the word that? Well, I use whether if there's a question. I use that for a fact or an opinion. Right? Whether is for a question. I don't know. Right? I don't know whether I can come. But on the other hand, that is for a fact. Right? I know that you are hungry. A fact. I know that you are busy. That's a fact. Right? So whether is for questions. that is for facts. Example, do you know if Jessica is quitting? That's a question. I want to know. Do you know? I don't know. Do you know? But on the other hand, do you know that Jessica is quitting? I know, and I want to ask if you know. Right? You see the difference between those two? Maybe. It's a little tricky. Have you heard whether Carlos passed the test? I want to know. I don't know. Have you heard? On the other hand, have you heard that Carlos passed the test? I know, and I'm asking you if you know. I think that global warming is a big problem, but my wife believes that it won't be so. Opinions, right? Facts and opinions, that. Facts and opinions, that, right? And we're going to talk more about using that maybe on Thursday when we start talking about the reported speech. All right, so far so good. Now what about so and that? Because sometimes I say I think so, and sometimes I say I think that. We use so to replace the entire that clause to answer a question or to avoid repeating. So, do you think that Maria is going to win the election? Yes, I think so. Right? Don't say so in that first position. Sometimes I hear people say, do you think so? I can do it tomorrow. No, do you think that? If you're going to have a clause afterward, you need to say that. Do you think that the final exam will be easy? I hope so. I hope so. I think so. I hope so. Is there going to be a test on Friday? I believe so. I hope so. I think so. I believe so. Right? I say so instead of saying the whole thing. All right. Practice. All right, I got to put my microphones on here because it's practice time.
Oh no.
All right.
I like this better, these ones, than the other one. The one they compare in 3 things.
Yeah. That's right. These are not so terrible, right?
Yeah.
These are not so terrible. Whether, if, subject, verb. Yeah, there's not like sometimes it's the subject and sometimes it isn't. It's never the subject. So it's one way to do it, right? You can only do it one way. Okay. Everybody ready for some practice?
Yes.
I think so.
I think so. Okay. Very good. Very good. Excellent.
So.
Excellent. I hope so.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I believe so.
I believe so. All right. So we're going to say, I don't know. And again, for this practice, let's be the informal English. Let's use if, okay? So I have a question. Is David sick today? Right? So what are we going to say? I don't know
If
if
David
is sick.
I don't know if David is sick, right?
I don't know if David is sick.
I took is and put it over here, right?
David sick today. I don't know if
All right.
David is sick today.
Now this was a simple past with did. Remember what happens to did? Throw it away, right? We got to throw away that word did. So it says, did Stella eat her vegetables? Right? What are you going to say? I don't know.
I don't know
if
Stella ate her vegetables.
ate her
If
vegetables.
Stella ate, right?
Ate
I changed eat to ate.
Ate. Okay.
¿Por qué? Because did is not there anymore, right?
Yeah. Ate.
All right.
Ate her vegetables.
Do the players have a practice today? Okay, we have a do. What happens to do? Throw it away. Throw it away. So what are we going to say?
I don't
don't
know.
Don't
Don't know if the players
practice
have
today.
a practice today.
Exactly. I
Players
don't know if the players have a practice
Have a
today.
practice today.
I
We
don't
can
know.
use weather in that question.
Yeah, of course. For all of them, you can say whether. Yeah, I could say I don't know whether David is sick. I don't know whether Stella ate her vegetables. I don't know whether the players have a practice today. No problem.
So
If
teacher,
yes,
question. So if and whether means the same?
yes,
Okay.
but whether is a little more formal.
Polite,
More.
cortés.
Right. A little
Okay.
more polite, just a little bit.
Okay.
Nothing
Okay.
wrong with if. If is totally fine. But like if I were writing a paper for a college professor,
Oh,
I
wow.
would probably write weather instead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably write
Thank
weather instead. Okay, can we use a dictionary during the test? Here we have can, a modal question, right? So we just need to move that modal back into position, right?
I don't know.
I don't know
I don't
if we
know
can
If
use
we can
the
use
dictionary
dictionary
We can
the test.
during the test.
during the test.
I don't know if we can use a
If we
dictionary
can use.
during the test, right? I don't know if we can use a dictionary during the test.
Today, during the test.
Okay, so again, if subject verb, whether subject verb, right? Okay. Let's take a look at the next one. More practice. Has anyone bought the concert tickets yet? Present perfect right here, right? Present perfect. So what do? We just move it to the position in back of the subject. So what do we say? I don't know.
I don't know
I don't know
if
someone
he
bought
has,
tickets yet.
Has concert tickets
if
yet.
anyone
Has
If
bought the ticket.
concert ticket yet. If anyone has,
I don't know if anyone has bought
I don't know
concert
if
tickets yet.
anyone has bought concert ticket
I
yet.
don't know if anyone has bought. Good. All right. Does Mr. Cleveland live near the school? Does.
I don't know.
What happens to does?
Disappear.
Throw it away. Throw it away.
Throw away.
If Mr.
Cleveland lives near the school.
I don't know if Mr. Cliff lives
Near
near to
near the school.
Again, and remember, I got to put my S back on my verb, right? You got to put my S back on the verb. Okay, so far so good. Let's try number 7. Should we go to this show? Should we go to this show?
Should we
That's
go
a should
to the
question.
show?
I don't know.
I don't know if we go to
should
this
should
show.
go to this show.
I don't know if we
If
should go
we
to the
should
show.
go to the show.
I don't know if we
If
should
we
go to
should
the
go to the show.
Exactly. If we should go.
If we should
All right, number 8.
we should.
Will there be food at the meeting? Will there be food? Okay,
don't
we have
know.
will in the first position.
no.
So if
I don't know
No,
if there
I
be
don't
any
know
food at the
if
meeting.
there will be
if
food
there
at the meeting.
if
The meeting?
there will be,
there
right?
will be
There will
food
be.
at
There
the
will
No,
be.
if there will be food at the
There
meeting.
will be.
I don't know if there will be
There will
food at
be
I
the
don't know
meeting.
if
at the
there will
meeting.
be food at
Of course, you can say will be. I wrote the contraction, but you can say
I don't
there
know
will
if
be.
it is. If there be.
All right. Two more. Did the movie have a happy ending? Simple past, right? Simple past. So what can we say here?
I don't
I don't
know
know
if the movie
had
had
a
a
happy
happy
ending.
ending.
H-A-D.
D.
That's right. I don't know if the movie had a happy ending. Right? Remember, no do, no does, no did. Last one. Are the nurses getting a raise soon? Present continuous. Present continuous.
Are the
So
nurses
I don't know.
If the nurses
If
are
Nurses
getting a raise.
Are getting a raise.
are
If-
getting
Getting
a
a raise
raise.
soon.
If the nurses are getting a raise. Mhm.
A raise soon.
I don't
The
know
nurses are getting
if
a raise
the
soon.
nurses are getting a raise.
Are getting a raise. So.
Okay.
Okay.
The end.
I wonder if I understand the lesson.
I wonder if I understand the lesson. Good question, huh? Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay,
I
good.
wonder if I understand the
If
lesson.
Yeah.
we
I wonder if you understand the lesson, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Now, I want to practice a little bit more separately here, so I'm going to stop the share here, get everybody back in the room. Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Hello,
teacher.
teacher.
Now, I think for people who speak Spanish, using that word "if" is pretty natural, right?
Yes.
And it doesn't feel so strange, right?
Mhm.
It feels kind of normal. It's not crazy English, right? So I want to practice using the expression whether or not. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to say, I'm not sure whether or not blah blah blah, right? Because this is something that Americans do all the time. It's very, very common to say, I'm not sure whether or not this, or I don't know whether or not that. And this is probably something that doesn't come out of your mouth easily. If, I think, is okay, but whether or not probably is not comfortable yet. So I'm going to practice when we're going to use not if, but we're going to use whether or not. Okay? So I want you to answer the question, I'm not sure whether or not. Okay? And then the rest of the sentence. Okay? Everybody got the idea?
Mhm.
Yes. Okay, good. Let's start with Ching tonight. Hello, Ching.
Hi.
All right. So Ching, you're going to say, I'm not sure whether or not. Okay? All right.
Okay.
So here's my question. Here's my question. Are the children sleeping? Are the children sleeping?
I'm not sure whether or not are children sleeping.
Turn it around. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure whether or not
The children are sleeping.
Are
The children
The children are.
The children are sleeping, right? I'm not sure whether or not the children are sleeping. Right? All right, class, let's do it together. Are the children sleeping? I'm not sure whether or not
The children
are sleeping. All right. David Segovia.
Yes, teacher.
All right. Did Alex pass the test?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure whether
Or not?
ask me the question again, teacher.
Did Alex pass the test?
I'm not sure whether Alex passed the test or not.
Okay, that's fine too. You can put or not at the end. Yeah, he
Yeah.
put or not at the end, but that's fine. Right? Okay. So students, did Alex pass the test? I'm not sure
Whether or not.
whether or not
Alex
Alex
passed the test.
Okay, good. Armando,
Yes, sir.
do we have a class on Memorial Day?
I'm not sure whether or not we have a class on a Memorial Day.
Very good. No, we don't. We need to have a barbecue party on Memorial Day, right? But
At least.
that's 3 weeks from now. So no, 2 weeks, right? What day is today? Today is the
12.
12.
May 12.
Okay. And when is Memorial Day? The 25th?
25.
25th of May. Okay, so 2 weeks. In 2 weeks is Memorial Day. No class. I need my hamburgers. All right. All right. Edith, let me ask you a question.
Yes, teacher. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Has Maria done this work before? Has Maria done the work before?
The work before?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm not sure whether or not
If Maria.
Is Maria if Maria done the work
Now are we going to use, are we going to say whether or not and if?
No,
or just one,
no,
right?
only one.
Oh,
Whether or
I'm not
or
sure
whether or not Maria has done the work
before.
Right. I'm not sure whether or not Maria has done the work before. Okay. All right, Julio. Can we park here?
I'm not sure whether or not we can park here.
We can park here.
We can
park, right?
Park here.
Right. So class, can we park here?
I'm
not sure whether or not we can park here. All right, Claudia.
Yes.
Do we have any homework?
I don't know whether or not we have homework.
Exactly. I don't know whether or not we have homework, or I'm not sure whether or not we have homework. Right? Again, whether or not, subject, right? Or like David's example, David put the or not at the end, which is also fine. So you could say, I don't know whether we have homework or not, or I don't know whether or not we have homework. All right, let's see. Isadora. Let's see. Is there any milk in the refrigerator? Is there any milk in the refrigerator?
I don't know if there.
Whether or not.
I don't know whether or not there are milk in the refrigerator.
There are or there is?
There is.
There is milk, right? Yeah. So I don't know whether or not there is milk in the refrigerator. Or I'm not sure whether or not there's milk in the refrigerator. Good. All right. Jose Garcia.
I'm ready.
All right. Let's see. Did the Dodgers win the World Series last year?
I don't know whether or not Dodgers won the last World Series.
No, they
I'm not sure.
No.
Very sad. Very sad. I'm still very angry about those Astros from 2 years ago.
Because they cheating. They cheated.
Yeah, that's terrible. Terrible. And the Red Sox too.
They should take the championship.
They know they can't beat the Dodgers, right? They know they can't beat the Dodgers fair and square, so they cheat. I'm still upset. All right.
They should take it back. I was about to
take
cry
away that
day.
trophy. Take away the trophy. Take away the prize money. All right. Edviges.
Yes, teacher.
Let's see. Can you help me tomorrow?
I'm not sure whether or not I can help you tomorrow.
Perfect. Right. Class, can you help me tomorrow?
I'm
not sure whether or not I can help you tomorrow. Exactly. Noel.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's see. Have the animals been fed? Have the animals been fed?
I'm not sure whether or not I'm not sure whether or not the animals have been fed.
Good. I'm not sure whether or not the animals have been fed. Good. Class, have the animals been fed?
I'm
I'm
not
not
sure
sure whether or
not
not
animals has been fed.
animals have been fed.
are being fed.
Have been fed.
All right, Lupe.
Ah,
Yes.
What are you doing, Lupe?
¿Qué pasó? All right, Lupe. Pregunta.
Yes,
All right, Lupe.
yes.
Let's see. Will Susan like this present?
I'm not sure whether or not Susan liked the present.
Will like the present, right?
Will like the present.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether or not Susan will like this present, right?
Will
I'm not
like-
sure whether or not
Whether
Susan will like the
Susan
present,
will
right?
like the present.
Right?
Okay.
Whether
Yes.
or not, subject, verb.
Susan will
Whether or
like
not,
the present.
subject, verb. Mhm.
Okay.
All right, and RR Soul is somebody?
Me,
That's
Lupe.
you. Oh, that's you both times. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. I see. Your voice is on one and your screen is on the other. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And what about Galaxy Core Prime? Quién?
I think it's
I
Galaxy
think it's
Core,
Leo.
Galaxy Core Prime. Who are you?
Lupe.
Is Leo?
Oh,
It's Leo.
Is no Leo?
oh, Leonardo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let me give you a name here. Galaxy Core Prime.
could you face, Leonardo?
All right, Leonardo.
Oh,
Are you
I
ready?
see.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's see. Do we have to work tomorrow?
Do we have to work tomorrow?
I don't know sure whether or not I will work tomorrow.
Or I have to work tomorrow? Mhm.
I
I'm
have-
not sure whether or not we have to work tomorrow. Okay. No problems. All right. Let's look at this a little bit in the book, and then we'll stop for tonight. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to share the book with you. If I can
With
find-
page.
Which one is it? The
Hold on.
purple?
The purple book. Yes. Let me
The
find it.
page.
I don't know. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Here we go.
Take it easy, Lupe.
All right. Yeah. Let's see. It is page. Okay. Page 36. All right.
Okay.
Can everybody see the page?
Yes.
All right. Everybody sees the page up top, right? So again, now you'll notice all of the examples in the book use the word if, right? I'd like to know if you finish your homework. I wonder if her mother is sick. Could you tell me if they will go to college, right? But notice the little note up here. What does it say? If is more common and whether is more formal, right? So the examples all have if because that's the most common. By far, it's the most popular, right? Maybe we use if like 80% of the time and we use whether like 20% of the time.
Wow.
So there's a big difference, right? We use if, that's typical, right? Typical to say if. All right, but let's see if we can make some sentences here. Everybody ready to do a little practice?
Yes.
Sure, why not? We'll do this.
I think so.
Sure.
I think so. I hope so.
I think.
All right. So
Whether or not, let's do it.
we learned at least something tonight, right? I think so is what we learned. Okay. All right. Let's see. It says, can I go to the party at Joe's? Maybe. First, I need to know what?
If you finish your homework.
Right. Let's see here. All right. So the first one, I need to know if you finished your homework with the ED. Can everybody see the answers up here in the corner?
Yes.
Oh,
You see
No,
them?
the pictures are there.
Oh, you might
no.
have to move the pictures, huh?
I think you should put the pictures to the left side.
On the right, but in the bottom corner.
Okay. All right.
If the party
Is it still in front, the pictures?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
party is
Let me see.
start.
Let's see if I can move this little box. There we go.
Oh,
There.
okay.
Okay. Now can we see it?
Yes.
Better?
Yeah.
Can you put the picture more down, please?
Which pictures?
I mean, the box.
Box
She wants to
size
see. She wants to see the sentences on top. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Why? Because I can see it.
Well, yeah, but remember, students, you have control of the boxes too, right?
Yes. Oh.
You can move those boxes anywhere you want. Okay.
No, I cannot move this one.
I think so. All right. Anyway, so we have here, I need to know if you finish your homework. Okay. Now here's the next question. Does the party start at 5 or 6? So what can we say? Do you know?
Do you know if the party starts at 5 or 6?
Exactly. If the party starts at 5 or 6, right? We threw away does, and we put the S back on it, right?
Change the start, the present.
Right? All right. Now the next one says, will his parents be home? That's a simple future,
Okay.
right? Will
Can you
his
tell
parents
me
be home? So can you tell me
If
if
the parents will.
is the parent
If his parents will be home.
Will be home.
exactly? Can you tell me if his parents will be home?
will be home?
All right. Everybody agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? Again, what do? We put if, and then we put the subject and the verb. All right. Now the next one, it says, do you need to take a birthday gift? So this is a do you question. So what happens?
Wonder if
What happens to do? Throw it away.
disapprove.
Okay.
I need-
So
If
I wonder.
Wonder if
If
you
you
need-
need to take a birthday
you need
Exactly.
you
I
need
wonder if you need to take a birthday
take a
gift.
birthday gift.
I wonder if you need to take a birthday gift. If you need to take. Okay. All right. Let's move this up a little higher here. Let's see. What do we have here? The next one says, no, it's not a birthday party. Are they going to serve dinner? This is a going to question.
I wonder if
If they are going
to serve dinner.
If they are, right.
they going to serve dinner.
If they are going to serve dinner, right.
going to serve dinner.
I wonder if they are going to serve dinner. Good. All right, the next one. Say, what about your friend John? Is he invited to the party? Right, that's a passive. Right? So, do you know
I don't know.
If he invited to the party.
if he is invited, right? Do you know if he is invited?
To the party.
Do you know if he is invited? Good. All right. Next one says, yes, I think so. There's I think so right there. Do you know, can John's parents bring you home?
If John's
parents, I don't know if John's
bring
you home.
Right. Do you know if John's parents can bring you home?
bring
John's parents
Can bring you home.
can bring you
bring
you home. Can bring you home.
Yeah, if John's parents can bring you home.
Can bring you home.
Okay, and the last one. Can you text us when you are on the way home?
I'm wondering
if you can text us when you're on the way home.
You can
text us.
Can you text us when you are on the way home?
Perfect. Right. So
can you text us?
John
Wonder parents can bring you home. I'm wondering if you
if you can text us when you are on the way home.
text you when you are on you can text.
No problems?
Wait, yeah. When you are
And text
on,
also.
when you are
Okay.
when you are on your way home.
All right.
Okay.
Good. All right. Now let me turn off the mics for a second and let's listen to this conversation. Okay. Mics are off. Okay. So let's listen to the conversation. Notice the father is always using indirect questions. The father is using indirect questions. Okay. Here we go. Let me move this over here.
Page 36, Exercise 2A.
Can I go to a party at Joe's house?
Maybe. First, I need to know if you finished your homework.
Yes, I finished it an hour ago.
Do you know if the party starts at 5 or 6?
It starts at 6.
Okay. Can you tell me if his parents will be home?
Yes, his parents will be there.
That's good. I wonder if you need to take a birthday gift.
No, I don't. It's not a birthday party.
I wonder if they're going to serve dinner.
Yes, they're going to grill chicken for us.
What about your friend John? Do you know if he's invited to the party?
Yes, I think so.
Do you know if John's parents can bring you home?
I'll ask them.
I am wondering if you can text us when you are on the way home.
Sure, I'll do that.
All right. Put everybody's microphone back on. Did you hear that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Didn't sound like a boy, but okay. That it was the son. That's a funny sounding son. Sounds like a teenage girl. All right. Anyway, okay. So do we feel pretty good about these kinds of questions?
Yes.
Más o menos? Okay.
Better,
Now,
better than the other one.
better than the other ones. Yeah.
Yes.
Way better.
Feels a little more natural, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tomorrow we're going to talk about the last thing in this chapter, which is using the word that. Using the word that and explaining how do we use that in the noun clause. Okay, so we'll talk about that tomorrow, and then on Thursday we'll wrap up everything. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Everybody
good.
feeling good? Feeling positive?
Good.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. So I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll talk about that noun clauses.
Good night, guys.
All right.
Good night, teacher.
Good.
Good night, everyone.
All
Thank
right.
you,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista.
All right. See you later. No drinking and
Bye,
driving.
Isidora.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.